Looking at the retail market, a number of different use cases here. We've already spoken about advertising and marketing in the context of retail, but a number of different things that retailers are using to engage with their customers, and they're using these use cases via mobile messaging. So surveys and voting, loyalty and customer relationship management programs, links to social media via SMS. But they're also using it internally within their own organization for things like employee communications and broadcasts, or using it to fulfill online status order queries, sending out or taking in requests from customers for information, for lead generation, emergency broadcasts, and providing details on product availability to their customers. And the key measurements for success in the retail market: reach, obviously, being able to get to as wide an audience as possible. Being able to analyze the information that's coming into the company, whether in terms of how many people used a particular messaging or engage with the company as a result of a particular messaging campaign or a particular messaging promotion. Looking at return on investment, if a particular promotion or a particular capability, say the example for people to more easily order services or to find out if a product is available, how much has that increased sales, for example. And of course, security is a key thing for mobile subscribers these days. They need to be reassured that the mobile messaging service that they're using is secure, that if they're sending payment information to their retailer, that's all as secure as possible by using SMS, using enterprise mobile messaging. Next slide, please. Okay, and I won't go through all of these as I do want to keep it quite short, but these are some of the business benefits, and there are numerous. So increasing brand awareness, for example, is key. It's a very competitive market out there for a lot of companies, and they need to make sure that they can shout louder than their competition. So using enterprise mobile messaging might be one way of helping them to do that, for example. They might be able to increase their revenue by doing this. For example, if a company was sending out promotions that were location-based via SMS or MMS, and that might include a coupon, that person comes into the store, might spend a bit more money with you. Increased customer engagement, things like event-based messaging, sending out birthday specials, that kind of thing. Security, obviously, again, very important with regards to payments information, with regards to ensuring, that personal data is kept secure, and it's also, an opportunity for retailers to help enhance internal communications between their employees, and maybe even beyond their employees to their suppliers and other partners. Next slide, please. Okay, travel. Similar use cases, different sort of scenarios. So here for subscribers, for mobile phone subscribers, things like texting to the concierge, check-in and check-out, departure information, making inquiries and requests, and the things that enterprises are able to do. They're able to send out special offers. They can do emergency broadcasts if need be. They can use it for customer relationship management and loyalty. Again, advertising and marketing, mobile checkout, and similar measurements for success here. Having a reliable service, knowing that your message is going to get to the people it needs to get to within the time frame that it needs to get to them. Security, again, can't stress that enough. Return on investment. If you're going to put in an enterprise mobile messaging platform, you need to get some return on investment, and whether that's quantifiable in terms of more revenue coming in, or qualitative in terms of making sure that you have a customer who is happy, who is delighted with the experience that they're getting from you. Next slide, please. And again, similar business benefits here in the travel sector as in the retail sector. Awareness, built-in analytics to monitor campaign effectiveness, very important. You need to know whether what you're doing is actually working, and if it's not working, how to fix it so that it does. You might be able to save on costs. This is one which may not directly generate revenue for you, but it will improve your bottom line. Again, increase customer satisfaction. You're going to have a happy customer if you let the customer know that a flight's been delayed, if you do something to proactively manage what could be a bad situation. Security, again, lots of people are paying online for their tickets or for their airfares, so they need to know that the payment information they're sending through is secure. And again, it can help to also improve the company's relationship with its employees. Next slide, please. And finance, banking and payments, messaging started out here quite early on as well, and has evolved so that there are a lot of things that people can now do with messaging. So, and a lot of information that they can receive from their banks. And for banks and finance, security obviously is key. So they would not be offering these services if they did not feel that their enterprise mobile messaging service was not delivering that capability. So things like funds transfers, alerts and authentication, being able to check with your customer if they've made a transaction, like a funds transfer, that they've actually made that transaction. You send them an SMS, did you do this? Or put in this key, put in this PIN number to confirm it. Mobile users are able to get mini statements, for example, and a host of things that the banks themselves can do. They can send payment reminders to customers if they've got a bill coming up. Again, authentication, secure mobile messaging. Financial institutions might send out notifications when there are high-value transactions. Did you make this transaction? This was the amount, and get in touch with us if you didn't, kind of thing. And real-time account information. And again, similar measurements for success here. Reliability, so important, particularly in the finance and banking industry. Security, again, very important. And also return on investment. So if you're able to, as a bank, provide a messaging service that enables your customer to more easily access their bank accounts, or that enables them to purchase a service from you, that's something that will help increase the investment that you've made, that will help provide a return on the investment that you've made in offering them a service using mobile messaging. Next slide, please. Okay, and again, similar business benefits here for finance. So again, increased awareness and loyalty, customer satisfaction, cost savings, security, making sure that all the information that's sent is secure, and doing that sort of using both client and clientless security. So giving your mobile subscriber the option, and again, perhaps an opportunity there to help increase the effectiveness of internal communications as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so here are just some, I'm missing a graphic there for some reason. There it is. Some examples, some case studies of how companies in different industry verticals have used mobile messaging and have generated some quite good results. So, for example, a hardware retailer sent out mobile coupons using not using SMS text, but sending their customers a text message with a link to a mobile coupon, and that company was able to increase its sales by about 400%. So, which is quite significant. I believe this was a smaller company. So, so we're looking at, it doesn't necessarily have to be a large enterprise company that's doing this. Smaller companies are also finding this very effective, also finding the use of mobile messaging very effective. Just a statistic there from the Federal Reserve. Just looking at the level of adoption of these services within the finance industry, 33% of mobile banking users are receiving text message alerts from their bank. So that was a report that they did in March 2012. Also in the US, looking in the healthcare industry, a smoking cessation campaign resulted in the participants in that campaign reporting double the quit rates after 6 months, so 32%, as opposed to those who weren't part of their campaign, who weren't getting the text messages encouraging them to quit smoking and giving them alternative things that they could do to distract themselves from smoking, and providing them with information about health benefits. In the UK, this is another small company, Hover Travel, has about 1,400 registered users for its SMS alerts. So, you know, that provides notifications of delays or cancellations. So, you know, there are quite a number of similar case studies of how enterprises have used mobile messaging, and it has benefited their business, or it has resulted in a good response from the target market for their particular service. Next slide, please. Okay, just taking a quick look at some enablers and inhibitors for enterprise mobile messaging. Next slide, please. Okay, but before we do that, this is a second question for the interactive poll. And again, if you could please use the poll tool that appears on your screen, and we'll provide you with the answers to that question a little bit further on the presentation. So enablers, key enablers for consumers. Of course, mobile penetration and use. In fact, this applies both to consumers and to enterprises. Consumers, for mobile messaging, they're getting timely, relevant communications to their device, wherever they are. Most people take their devices with them all the time. That's happening in a secure way. They're getting information, communications, which can be of great utility to them. They can do something with that message that they're getting. And it's happening in a reliable fashion. For SMS and MMS in particular, but also for other forms of messaging. Those messages can be sent through by enterprises in a very reliable fashion. For enterprises, mobile penetration and use, again, there are proven use cases, and there's proven return on investment, both in terms of the quantitative, generating additional revenues, achieving cost savings, and qualitative, providing their customers with a better user experience. Next slide, please. And then, of course, there are some inhibitors as well. And for consumers, I've got mobile penetration and use, again, simply because for more advanced mobile messaging services, IP-based communication services, these are not available to people who do not have a smartphone, for example. So that limits what users can get on their device. They might just be limited to SMS or to MMS. So as I said before, those two particular services have almost universal penetration on devices. IP-based communications, it's getting there. It's not quite there yet. But these are things that will pass. Ensuring that the communications that they get are timely and relevant. You know, people are concerned about being spammed if they sign up to get a text alert. They want to make sure that that text alert is one that they actually signed up for and that it's relevant to them. Security, there's a question mark, I guess, over that in terms of some IP-based communications, but again, that is an issue that is being addressed. And utility, again, that comes back to consumers, making sure that for consumers that the message that they get is related to the timely, relevant communications, that the message that they get is useful for them, that they can use the information that's within that message. Otherwise, it's just, as I said, it's just spam. For enterprises, the complexity of integration it can be an inhibitor, you know, or it can be something that discourages them. Finding a high-quality service provider, you know, that's quite important, because using, you know, putting your toe into the water using a service provider because that service provider is cheap, but then having a bad experience, you're unlikely to repeat it. And then again, the final point also very important. If you're sending out messages that are irrelevant, that are poorly targeted to your customers, you're going to cause your brand a lot of damage. You're going to end up annoying your customers or alienating your customers. So these are some of the things that enterprises, I think, are quite concerned about. Next slide, please. Okay, and now I'm going to pass it over to John Puma and Miles Norton from Infinite Convergence, and they will speak to you about their perspective on enterprise mobile messaging. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Pamela, for the great insights into enterprise messaging and A2P and P2A business. So I think from a service provider's perspective, we at Infinite Convergence look at the needs of the enterprise, as you just heard outlined by Pamela, and take those inputs as requirements of a service provider. And so we need to make sure we address these key needs of the enterprises as they endeavor to leverage mobile services as a means to which to grow brand loyalty, revenue, and profits. The service provider needs to address at least 5 key services in order to enable the benefits of the mobile messaging program, such that it can contribute to one's business goals. Summarizing the key areas are security, control, analytics, technology, and one-stop shop. Today, the security of personal and corporate information is, for a number of reasons, a key area which a EMS provider must handle and an enterprise must be concerned with. A service should be flexible enough to handle any security concerns the enterprise have, be it the transfer of data to the enterprise message provider, or for very sensitive information, a complete end-to-end secure solution involving multiple secure messaging technologies like encryption or two-factor authentication and other means. Another area of security involves ensuring there is role-based access to the enterprise's data at the enterprise, as well as at the provider role for the EMS services. We will talk more specifically about this in a later slide. The EMS provider should also provide extensive control mechanisms, allowing the enterprise to control their usage of the service so as to also control costs. By leveraging role-based access to, an enterprise can realize much more control of how and when EMS costs and benefits are realized. In addition, cost management is the concern of every enterprise. So certain enterprise management messaging systems should be able to provide something we call intelligent routing algorithms that fit the delivery requirements and the sensitivity of the information to the network routing, and can be much better match. We can much better match the network transport cost to the value of the message being delivered. Speaking of value, enterprise messaging services must provide some flexible analytics. You heard Pam spend some time talking about that, and that's a key measure for enterprises to understand how effective their EMS is. What percentages of messages are actually being delivered? What impact did the sales promotion have on actual sales? Without analytics, it's difficult at best to ensure marketing and business strategies which use EMS are effective. Another important consideration is the technology or platform upon which the EMS provider has built their service on. Do they own and control the EMS software their service is built around? Do they have a demonstrated history of providing systems and services which are always available with high performance to deliver your messages in a timely fashion so that they are in fact relevant and valuable? Do the systems scale so that as your business grows and as their business grows, they can continue to meet those performance metrics that you rely on to provide your customers with timely and relevant information? And do they have a roadmap that is innovative and in sync with both legacy communications and emerging technologies? Let's admit it, SMS and MMS are relatively older telecom messaging technologies. They've been around for a while, yet these are just now in their growth stage for enterprise messaging, as Pam pointed out during her presentation. There are new and emerging telecom technologies that are impacting and will impact the next generation of EMS. Ask your EMS provider where they are going. We have explored some trends and will do so again shortly. EMS providers who are developing their technology for the mobile network operators must provide highly reliable and scalable systems and must be engaged in the next generation of technologies, enabling and exciting new end user experiences. So why not choose an EMS provider who is not only developing the same core technology for mobile carriers, but who is also providing the next generation of mobile messaging solutions for them as well? Finally, if you're talking to the right EMS provider, They will also be a one-stop shop, handling all the things we've just reviewed, as well as being able to do the initial setup, the end-to-end systems integration, testing, software customization, and of course the ongoing support your enterprise demands. So here we talked about what to look for in an EMS provider. Let's quickly examine the benefits of picking the right EMS partner. Next slide. There are many service providers that can address a company's enterprise messaging needs, but choosing the right partner will have multiple advantages to both the company and its customers. The right partner will provide you not only the capabilities to deliver the message to your customers, but will bring additional value propositions by giving you access to better analytics and data to measure the effectiveness of your messaging campaign, measure success. By enabling a single solution that can be implemented across the organization from marketing, sales, customer service, and operations, lowers your investment. By empowering you with a robust, scalable service that lets you launch marketing programs of any size to drive more revenue. All these factors result in a better return on investment for the company. The right partner will also lower the risk of your investment and of your project for integrating EMS into your business operations. Now, what do I mean by that? No single technology has the global reach as mobile messaging does, compared to email and social networks, for example. So by investing in enterprise messaging, you are investing in a technology that is proven and highly effective for today and tomorrow. Moreover, a right partner should have the mobile technology expertise to give you access to new technologies like IP push messaging, mobile apps, WebRTC, RCS, Rich Communication Suite, which is an emerging technology, and other mobile technologies that your enterprise can benefit from. So you're not spending time and money looking for new partners and switching solutions as your customers adopt new technologies tomorrow. Partnership or partnering with the right EMS service provider will mean you can implement your plans quickly. Again, I am not just talking about giving you the capabilities to deliver messages. When you look at the implementation of the solution as a whole, the right partner will provide application programming interfaces for easy integration, CRM implementations, and if you have an IT team to implement it, they can use these APIs and toolkits. Your EMS provider will also have the expertise to customize the service if needed, and will take a more consultative approach in providing the capabilities and help you in your need to implement the solution and develop the strategy quicker and better. Once you launch the service, the right partner will give you access to all the information you need about mobile messaging programs that you have and do so in one place. Analytics that can tell you how successful your messaging programs are, what percentage of your customers love your product. Run surveys and polls, just like we were doing here during this webinar, but do it on the mobile to learn their opinions and their tastes, which marketing campaigns were the most successful, and much, much more. This kind of data can give you the information you need to make better decisions about your marketing, to learn more about your customers, and ultimately to get the ROI on your enterprise messaging investments. Since we're talking so much about return on investments, let's now examine analytics in a little bit more detail. Any good enterprise service should provide the enterprise with ways of measuring the effectiveness of one-way messaging delivery services like appointment reminders, alerts, financial transaction status alerts, delivery status updates, and provide statistics on what percentage of those messages were successfully delivered. Analytics might include percentage of messages successfully delivered, reports on invalid numbers so that you can go back to your customer database and improve the quality of that database so you're improving your reach. But something simple like what percentage of messages hit the mark is very useful to understand the effectiveness of any campaign. But let's look a little bit more at some more powerful types of analytics that involve a feedback mechanism. Measuring the effectiveness of a sales promotion campaign, for example. Here, your analytics should allow you to not only look at the delivery aspect, but also help you understand whether the campaign resulted in an improvement in sales. So if your mobile customer receives a promotion, which is a coupon for 15% off the pizzas when they're purchased online on Wednesday between 2 and 4 p.m., when the pizza shop sends the confirmation to the mobile, the EMS service provider can provide near real-time analytics on the return on investment for that campaign. Who doesn't like near real-time analytics? And when you're running a business, right? An example of another use case that we see is with a large financial institution. They offer a promotion offering a discount on check cashing services or money transfers during a certain day and time of the week. The EMS system should generate analytics tying the outbound promotion to the mobile user using their mobile telephone number with the transaction or use of the service during a specific time. This will trigger a thank you message to the subscriber's mobile, allowing the enterprise to directly measure the impact of the promotional campaign. This is a fantastic way to judge the effectiveness of ROI of an EMS-based sales promotion. The same case would apply for retail promotion. Retailer offering a coupon for online sales sends a coupon code which can be applied to the purchase online that results in them receiving a discount on that purchase. This results in an outbound order confirmation sent to the consumer's mobile. Bingo. ROI. Easily measurable. You can see the common denominator here is the mobile number and the EMS. Keeping in mind that only people who opt in to these types of mobile campaigns get them. This is why the impact is so high when compared to just broad-based distribution of coupons in the mail. Measuring the impact is incredibly powerful. People read these messages because they are relevant to them. Statistics show that mobile messaging campaigns are far more effective ways of reaching relevant consumers and triggering action than mailers to the house or even email. So after we've talked about all these wonderful benefits, how difficult is it for the enterprise to integrate a EMS into the marketing, sales, and operational plans? Next slide, please. A key issue for the enterprises is who are not already using an EMS today is how to take the first step to introduce EMS into the enterprise business model, enterprise business operations. Enterprise messaging service providers should provide a broad and flexible set of services to enable their service with the existing business operations systems. This requires EMS to not only provide you with guidelines and tools, but also offer a service to assist in the integration. A robust EMS provider will have a broad set of toolkits catering to legacy as well as current industry standard interfaces and APIs like HTTPS for secure messaging, SMTP, XML, SOAP, MM7, and other standard interfaces, and standard APIs like Ruby, Python, PHP, Microsoft.NET, Java, and Perl, for example. Many enterprises use a CRM, MRM, or ERP. That's the right slide. A quick way to integrate a EMS into your business processes are to find an EMS service provider that have an application module that integrates their EMS directly into your the CRM, MRM, or ERP that you're already using. Many different types of services then can be easily leveraged with this type of approach. The ability to distribute product update information, channel promotion campaigns, new product announcements, etc., all from within the system your enterprise is already using. But most importantly, there should be an easy way to customize the service interfaces too. This can be software customization at the enterprise application itself, but for those EMS providers who control, own, and develop their own EMS software platform upon which their service runs, will be able to provide customizations at the EMS service provider system as well. In this way, the minimal amount of work is needed at the enterprise in the IT department to integrate with an EMS provider, and this also results in lower risk and quicker time to launch the new EMS service. This plays into another very important topic on top of companies' minds today, and that is security. How can the right EMS provider help you meet your security needs? Next slide, please. Okay, so as we discussed before, security issues are top of mind these days, so I want to take a little closer look at security issues and what role an EMS system or service provider needs to play to help you protect sensitive information. Remembering, we just talked about how beneficial it can be if a EMS provider owns, develops, and maintains the internal software the service rides on, plays directly into how well a EMS service provider can provide the security of both your enterprise data as well as preserve the security of your customers' data during the transport to their mobile device and perhaps even on their mobile device. In this picture, we're looking at just a few options for ensuring the security of the enterprise and the mobile user's sensitive information. One part of securing the company's sensitive information is as simple as putting up a VPN between the enterprise and the EMS service provider using HTTP secure link and VPN, for example. As a partner, your EMS provider should provide you with some recommendations or consultation on what type of security is necessary and what practices you might adopt to best fit your need and lower your cost while meeting the needs of your customer. This is often based on the type of data being stored at the EMS and the type of messages being communicated to the mobile user. Many security issues are tied to who at the enterprise and who at the EMS have access to things like the company's customer data, the EMS application service that creates the messaging campaign, and the EMS application that actually initiates the campaign, resulting in an EMS expense and a communication to the customer or employee's mobile device. A robust EMS offering must control access to the company's customer data as well as access to the EMS services. Role-based user access controls should be integrated into the EMS service provider's offering, and it should be implemented in a way that segments or segregates access to these very important things. The customer data, creation of the campaign system should be separate from the access to the EMS campaign delivery system. In this way, you give the right amount of control to the enterprise so that they can establish those role-based responsibilities within their organization and make sure that campaigns don't get executed until they've been approved by the appropriate management and the expense is ready to be taken, as well as those benefits. In addition, we need to talk about end-to-end security needs of a particular EMS message. Having flexible options regarding the end-to-end delivery provide the enterprise with just the right level of security, only providing the level of service necessary and only the expense necessary or appropriate for the information being transported. Some options include two-factor authentication, where a link is sent to a secure server containing the sensitive information. The user gets this link on their mobile phone, and then they have to log in with a password to a secure website before they can extract the sensitive information. No application on the mobile device is required for this particular use case. Another use case is the end-to-end encryption, where you might be sending sensitive medical or financial information and so forth, and that data therefore needs to be encrypted. Now I need an app at the other end of the transmission on the mobile device itself, which will receive that encrypted message, and then you have to have a password even for your own app in order to view the data in a viewable mode. So these are just a couple of examples of some ways of dealing with security in today's world. Other security strategies may be needed depending on the sensitivity of the data. This would include ensuring certain processes are in place like PII, PCI DS, HIPAA, compliance for medical information, ISO 27001 when transmitting or storing sensitive information. This area of security is becoming a key issue which all enterprises must address in some fashion. Your EMS provider should offer enough options to meet your needs today and tomorrow. Now let's move on to the next slide here as we close out this particular session and deal with a tangible example of why choosing mobile messaging has a significant benefit to your marketing and sales department. So here, according to NCH Marketing Services, 305, this is an example, 305 billion coupons went into circulation in the United States in 2012. Of those coupons, and these are mailers that go to the home, right, 2.9 billion were used. This is approximately 0.97%, or more approximately 1%. So even if we were to triple that amount and assume this was a very successful paper couponing campaign, it pales in comparison to the number we see from Juniper Research here, which basically says 10% of the average mobile coupons are redeemed. So in this simple example here, you can see what the postage and handling and printing is for mobile couponing campaign versus a mobile messaging campaign, and it's very tangible dollars. We have to fix the typo on the revenue generated by this. So now let's move on to the summary slide here from Infinite Convergence and say, when selecting a EMS provider, again, you've got multiple choices, multiple technologies, and choosing a EMS provider that has all of these options and is in line with what is happening in the marketplace to enable new communications. We talk about dealing with messaging through OTT apps, working with an EMS provider who's also providing the telecommunications infrastructure for the mobile network operators today would mean that they have to deal with instant messaging like OTT apps or emerging international standards like Rich Communication Suite, RCS, emerging web based types of standards like WebRTC, and of course geofencing and location-based services. These are all trends and emerging technologies that have yet to really be embraced by EMS and enterprises today from a mobile perspective. And clearly, when talking to somebody like an Infinite Convergence, you're able to pick a partner that can help you implement mobile messaging services today and be your partner through time as those new technologies start to be enabled and integrated into enterprise applications going forward. So with that, I think we've had a nice overview, a little bit of a deep dive in some specific areas here. I told you what you need to look for an EMS service provider, what the benefits are, and where things are going. And I want to turn it back over to Pamela to wrap up.
Great, thanks, John. Thank you. Sorry, I think you probably should have been on that last slide for a little bit longer. But no, thank you, John, for that very comprehensive overview and detail on what to look for in an EMS provider and what some of the benefits can be from using an EMS provider. We'll just finish up here with a few sort of takeaways that we hope have come through this webinar today. First one being that we think that enterprises need to overcome their fear of using mobile messaging to reach their customers. There are a lot of ways that, as John has just outlined, an EMS provider can help enterprises to overcome those fears by working with an EMS provider that can take out some of the complexity with regards to integration. They can look at providing a very secure experience for the enterprise and for the consumer. So and also that then moves on to the EMS provider can help enterprises to capture, to target their captive audience with mobile, and to do that with communications and campaigns that are relevant to that audience, and try and avoid using messaging in a way that may alienate the customer. The second key takeaway, mobile messaging, a secure and reliable communications channel, which addresses those two key concerns in particular, and using an EMS provider can assist with enabling that security and reliability across all forms of mobile messaging. Again, looking towards some of the future technologies, as John has just mentioned, obviously SMS and MMS, the use of both of those two channels for messaging has been very popular and continues to grow. But we do have IP-based communication services which are increasing in use, and that means that enterprises, if they haven't already, will need to start thinking about how they can also address their customers and their other stakeholders using those technologies as well. Things like WebRTC, push notifications, IP-based instant messaging applications, and so on. And finally, I guess the main point is that enterprises, they need to be ready to leverage those new technologies, because in the future, or even now, these technologies are going to help enterprises to continue or to start to optimize their profitability, reduce their costs, remain relevant to their target market. And that's from the perspectives of communicating with that target market, maintaining customer relationships, and just integrating these technologies in a way that, you know, may not just benefit them from external facing, from the point of view of external facing use cases, but also internal facing use cases. So I think that's the end of our webinar today, and we are now open to taking some questions from you. Thank you very much for your participation, and my thanks to John and at Infinite Convergence for participation on this call as well. Okay.
Thanks, guys. That was
okay.
about an hour exactly without Q&A.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're like you said at an hour.
Yeah.
So we may need to think